All right, so let's do the other two. I've got a couple more. And one is straight off your homework so you can see what to do. All right, so you've got a b plus 6 over 4b squared plus 3 over a 2b squared equals a b plus 4 over 2b squared. So now we'll just make more denominators with more stuff. They're still all single monomial denominators. Now, again, if you look at the largest one, which is your 4b squared, 4 is already a multiple of 2, so I can just use the 4. And all of them have a b squared, and so I'm going to use the b squared. So it just has to make sure that this common denominator would cover all of the factors that are listed in any one of these. And the same thing for my extraneous solution. Right? The only value I can't use would be 0. Everything else is fair game. So now sometimes it's like you can see like a little shortcut. Like I've been writing it down as each term times what it is. But if you want to, you can go through, if you have space, and just write next to each one what you would multiply by. The only trick when you do this is that you have to remember that if you have multiple terms in the numerator, you need to put parentheses around those before you say you're going to multiply. Because if you end up clearing out your denominators but still having some factors left, it has to be distributed. So on this first fraction, when I fraction bus, all of the denominators are going to cancel, and I'm just left with the b and the plus 6. So there's nothing to distribute on that one because all of the factors are gone. But now when I cancel out these, the b squareds disappear, but 2 goes into 4 twice. And so when I simplify, I am going to be left with extra factors even though it didn't like originally look like it. And you need to multiply everything that's left up top together. So you're going to get a plus 6 when you multiply. Same thing on the other side. Like the b squareds disappear, but 2 goes into 4 twice. And now I need to distribute that 2 to both terms. So that's why you want to make sure you put parentheses around all the terms in the numerator, is because on the right hand side, if you don't, you won't get the 2b plus 8. You have to be able to have that as a bigger factor. Now when I look at this, I don't have anything squared, so this is something linear. And when you have something linear, you're trying to separate your variables and your constants. All right, so it doesn't matter which way you go. Right? Like I'm probably going to leave the 2b on this side and move b over. And then I'm going to move the 8 to the other side. So on the right hand side, I really have 12 minus 8 because I have the 6 and the 6 that are still there. So 12 minus 8 is 4 equals 2b. And so when I divide both sides by 2, I get b is 2. And so as long, again, just double check. As long as it's not 0, I'm good to go.
Why is it equal to 2b?
It's not. What is it equal to?
B.
B. Because I'm crazy today. Because I forgot to subtract 1. That's why. It's not. It's equal to 1. Because I didn't subtract. 2 minus 1. There we go. You're right. I just didn't subtract. Still works. It's not 0, so I'm good. All right, so we're going to do number 10 from your homework so you can see exactly like what you have to do. All right, so you've got 1 plus 6h over 7h minus 3/14 equals h plus 4 over 2h. Again, all of these numerators are contained together. Like, those right there are all set. So whatever you do to that fraction, you have to consider how it's going to affect the numerator. So your common denominator, if I look at all the numbers, the 14 is the biggest multiple of all the numbers, so I need the 14. And there's only a high power of h to the first power, so I need 1h. All right, as long as I have one of them, it'll cancel out all of them. So the only extraneous solution you have is that h is not allowed to be 0. That's it. So this might be a little bit longer. Again, if you want to, instead of rewriting to save space, you're going to multiply everything times 14h. You can see I already put parentheses around all of my numerators to try to remind myself that I'm going to have to probably distribute at some point. So I'm left with a factor of 2 on the first fraction that I need to distribute. And so you're going to get 2 plus 12h when you distribute that. And when I cancel with the 14, I'm left in the second term with a negative 3h. And on the second one, or sorry, the last one on the other side, I'm left with a 7. When you distribute, you should get 7h plus 28. Now there's a lot of extra terms floating around, so I'm probably going to simplify a little bit more just because I don't want to make a mistake. So we've got the 12h and the minus 3h on that side. So now move your terms around. So bring the 7h to the left and the 2 to the right. You should get a 2h equals 26, or h is 13. So on your homework assignment, that's what your questions look like. So this is number 10. There's your answer.